Hello again folks, back to work on the Mark 2 Golf after the Christmas period. Had a little bit of a break away from work, back to it now. Finally got a chance to get it on the ramp and show you exactly what we're dealing with in terms of little bits of common rot, so-called repairs that the owner had actually paid somewhere to do, and we've recently found out they've not been done very well. So let's start. From the rear panel, as you can see, around the exhaust area, common place of rot, and then again around the rear towing eye, very common places, but we're deciding whether or not we're going to patch them or replace the entire panel. As we move to the underneath of the car, as you can see from the other side of the back panel, it is fairly bad, and I am getting the feeling that we're going to be replacing the entire panel and not just patching. A few little scabby areas on the spare wheel tub, nothing serious. It should grind back and then prime up perfectly fine. As you can see, the rear chassis rails aren't in a bad state. The inner rear wheel arches aren't brilliant, but again, we know they need work, so they will be getting attention. We'll be cleaning all of the underseal and paint and just general rubbish that's in there out the way. When we get back down to bare steel, we'll know exactly what we're dealing with. Again, common things, backing plate being rotten, we'll be replacing those when we take the axle off for refurb. You'll be getting, I think it's Volkswagen Polo 6N2 backing plates, bolt straight up, and you just have to fit on the other side of the stub axle due to the offset. It's a very, very common conversion. I've done it many times myself, and it's by far the easiest way to get a nice clean brand new backing plate in there, because the Mark II ones are stupid money. As you can see there, the main bit of rot that is in the rear chassis rail is that little hole there, which has just got the closing panel on as well. It's not going to be a complete chassis rail going in, it will just be a little patch and cover and cover there, purely just because there's no point doing more work than what's necessary. As we move further underneath, all the braking components like the brackets, the spring, the actual valve, all of those will be getting stripped down, refurbed, maybe shot blasted, maybe not, but they will be getting a fresh coat of paint and looking brand new before they go back in. A lovely little repair there, that looks like it's had a bit of a visit from those park pigeons, but we'll take it out, we'll see what's been left underneath, and we'll address that as well, along with the other little bits and pieces that we're going to be look at. During this build we will also be doing full new brake pipes, fuel lines, clips for them, all the rest of it. They'll be in later videos as and when we get to them, but that won't be any problem. A little bit of rust as you get up towards the front, commonly known as the jacking point. Again, nothing major, just going to be a case of cleaning it up, see how bad it is, if needs be, replace it. But now we're on to this lovely little repair that I've been talking about. The owner of this vehicle paid a garage, supplied both sills, paid them a fair amount of money as well to have the sills repaired in their entirety. Now that we've taken the side skirts off, we've actually found out that, and as you'll see in the video, the sills haven't even been welded along the bottom. They are pop riveted and seam sealed. By no means is that an adequate repair, but I'll let you lot make your decisions on that, because I'm not one to slate anybody, shall we say. Rear arch is quite obviously gone, inner and outer, that's not a problem, panels readily available, and there'll be videos up as and when we're doing that, along with the other various body repairs that are coming. Front chassis rails are in surprisingly good condition. They have got surface rust on them, but after having a bit of a poke about, there is nothing in there that worries me in the slightest. The battery tray does need replacing. The chassis rail closing panel on the driver's side is a question mark at the minute. We have got to get in there with the grinder, clean it back and see just how bad that is. May just be a patch job, may be a complete panel that's going in there. That's yet to be decided. And just to show you as well, as you can see, driver's side sill has also been pop riveted in place. How some of the people get away with what they get away with, I'll never know. The underbody fuel pump, along with all its brackets and hoses, will be taken out in due course as well, and there'll be a video on refurbing that, making it look a little bit nicer and a bit more presentable. As you can see, as we get closer to some parts of the sill, you'll actually see that where the sill should be very tightly pressed together, there's a clear gap in between it, and the people who have apparently done this repair chose to pop rivet it. Shocking. Well, that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully now you've got more of an idea of the amount of work that we've got ahead, whether it be unstitching poor previous repairs or just tackling things for the first time. But there's going to be plenty of footage coming, hopefully within the next week or so. If not, there'll definitely be something by January, or sorry, by February, end of January, as we just get into place. Time to do it when we can get on the ramp, when we can start making some noise and some pretty colours. But that's that for now. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.